Oh, it's, let's see, setting up your
Mm-hmm.
meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Live on Facebook, it says. Okay. Are we good, Lysandra?
Yep.
All right. Hi, everyone. How are we doing today? Welcome to our episode of What's the Tea? For those who don't know us, you should know us by now. But for those who don't, we stream on Facebook every Tuesday at 1 p.m. and we talk about different topics. So usually what we do is we interview somebody from a different department of our agency. Now, our agency is South Suburban Family Shelter. And South Suburban Family Shelter, what we do is we offer different kinds of services to people who have been impacted by domestic violence. So that's who we are. That's what we do. Tune in every Tuesday. We'll be here.
All right. We're just waiting on some individuals to log on with us today. How are you all doing, ComEd? How you doing?
Doing good. Has everybody got their tea?
I've got my tea.
I hope you all have your tea too. Comment below, what are you drinking? So Celeste, I put some lemon in my chamomile tea. You know, you put us up on terms with that tea.
Yeah, some lemon, some chamomile. Hopefully you use honey instead of sugar.
Yes, I did. I sat there and I was like, sugar or honey? And I was like, you know, it was one of those things like, what would Zach do? What would Celeste do? I was like,
Celeste would probably put sugar, but it's all good. Fine. So we're going to talk about a couple of things today. We're going to talk about prevention, which is a department that we all work for. We do community education. So for the most part, we go around to schools and present on those topics. I'll go ahead and let Zach cover that topic there.
Sure. So today is our prevention infomercial.
Yeah.
So we want to tell you all about what's going on. It's towards the end of September now. Everyone's back in school. You know, we've had a little bit time to figure out where, you know, whether we're going to be in person or online. So now we feel it's a great time to let you know that we are still doing presentations, and we want to let you know how we've adjusted and what those presentations are. And so typically we used to just go into schools. It would be one of us or two of us, and we would go there and do our presentations in person. But of course, a lot of people are online now. So I think the first thing we'll do is just explain the different age groups there are for the different kinds of presentations, and then we'll explain how we're going to do that and what it's going to look like. So I'll go ahead and let Celeste.
So it's a lot of information that we have to cover, a lot of things that we have to talk about because we do offer so much. But so the type of presentations that we offered before the pandemic, we offer now, we offer presentations to students as well as to grown-ups, to adults. So basically what they are is we have a presentation called Hands Are Not for Hitting. And this presentation is mostly for the little ones, pre-K, kindergarten, first grade. And what we talk about here is we talk about our feelings, and we help them understand what feelings are, and that there's nothing wrong with feeling angry. There's nothing wrong with feeling sad. We also talk about what they can do with their hands to help. So hands are not for hitting. We also talk about that. And then we have a presentation titled Family Violence. So for this one, it's more for elementary students. And what we focus on is how to stay safe if there's violence happening in the home or wherever it is that they are. A lot of students like to think that they should be the hero and save everyone if they have younger siblings, if they have pets. But what we really focus on is that they have to keep themselves safe. No matter what's going on, you think about yourself first. So we help them develop a safety plan. And then for teen dating violence, now we're talking about middle school, high school students. We help them recognize the signs of abuse, and we talk about healthy relationships. What's the difference between a healthy and an unhealthy relationship? Now, for everyone else, we also offer what we call a DV 101, which is basically domestic violence dynamics, the very basics. It's usually about an hour long. We offer it to basically whoever wants it. A lot of the time we'll go to churches, we'll go to colleges. So if you are interested, we are going to have an email in the comments. Yeah, but that's about what we offer.
And I'll just say real quick, the K through 2 second grade is Hands Are Not for Hitting. 3rd through 5th is family violence, and 6th through 12th is teen dating violence. So just in case you're a teacher or you're on the edge of one of the two and you want to know which one is right for you.
Absolutely. And just also too, with speaking about the domestic violence 101s that you talked about, Celeste, these are just really educational. Like, we have a lot of agencies that want us to come and do that. So even if you thought, hey, could she come talk to our Girl Scout troop, or can he come talk to police department or anything, we come wherever you want. Now, right now, I don't know if we're going to be there. We'll be there virtually, but I don't know if we're going to be there in person because we have to stay safe. But we do offer all of these. And I know, Celeste, is so funny because even relaying these presentations back to us, educating our children, you use these presentations with your kids all the time. And so it really improves their understanding of knowing their emotions, understanding their feelings, knowing that it's okay. So I really like that you also apply this with them as well, because if other parents or teachers was to ask, well, does it work? Do they understand it? And you could definitely vouch for that.
I can definitely vouch for that. Yes, I use it on my own children. I've definitely, when I first started working for the agency and I was a little bit nervous going out to schools, I had all my nieces and nephews and my little sister, and I definitely practiced with them, but they all enjoyed it. They all learned a lot from it. And I do continue talking about this topic with all of my younger siblings and relatives, definitely.
Yeah. And it's just
And
so
that's
interesting.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, I was going to go on to the next bullet point there. When we talk about the importance of prevention, is that it really is important. And that's how important it is that I really even try to make sure that I've got it covered, not only with the schools that I go to, but with my family as well.
Right. And I know that one thing that I just really want to talk about is the importance of our services. Because I know that we're going through a very difficult time right now in the world. We really don't know what normal is anymore. Is this our normal? We don't know, right? But when it comes to right. When it comes to our kids, when it comes to our future, being able to understand what is domestic violence, what is teen dating violence, what is family violence, this is very important, because one thing that as an agency, we learned that during this pandemic, a lot of individuals have really been scared to reach out for help. Our counseling services really declined when the pandemic first happened, which that is so unheard of at our agency, but it totally makes sense because of that safety aspect. They were scared to reach out for help, so they went back into their shell, right? So why would I try to put myself out there to reach out for help when I know the lethality of my situation, right? So when we're talking about our students, just imagine these students who have been in the household with their guardian or their parents or their grandparents, whoever they're living with, and imagine if they have family violence and they have had no one to talk to since March. And now we have these students doing virtual learning. What if they are in a household that is very toxic or very abusive, right? So even think about us trying to be able to provide this information to our students virtually, right? It's a 50-50 chance that that student may come to class that day because their guardian know that we will be presenting, you know what I'm saying? So one thing I just want to say is that when we come into the schools and we discuss this, you will be surprised at the amount of appreciation, even that love for us to be able to come in there and have that one-on-one time to be able to teach them something that really can change their life. I get a lot of times personally when we go into the schools, a lot of these students wouldn't have known that they lived in a house with family violence. They wouldn't have known that they were in a domestic violence relationship. because it was deemed as normal. And we all know that the first relationship we see is in the household. So imagine if I'm 5 years old and all this time I seen mom hit dad or curse dad out, right? I'm going to think that that's normal. Then when I get to school and I have Miss Celeste and Mr. Zach coming to me and telling me that it's okay to cry and it's not okay to hit people, now I'm confused because what I've been witnessing this whole time, I thought that was normal, right?
Exactly.
So it's just really important to be able to provide these services to our students right now, because the stay-at-home order, it really made me nervous. All I could think about was the kids that we see, right? Just think about the different situations that have been brought to our attention by students, by teachers, right? So when we're talking about a stay-at-home order, you can't go anywhere, virtual presentations, working from home, this could be really dangerous for people. And like I know that Celeste and Zach were speaking about still trying to figure things out, right? Because we don't know what is normal anymore. And this is all new for us as well. But we just really want you all to really take advantage of this, because not only our services are free, right? Free of charge, but we offer presentations from everyone, to the younger kids all the way to the adults. This is something that everyone can take advantage of, because domestic violence, I would say personally, I would think is very heightened right now due to the situations of what we are all dealing with. And something else that I do want to discuss is that with Safe from the Start, okay? So we offer Safe from the Start at our agency. So if say you have a child that is 4 years old, and make sure you all team, correct me if I'm wrong or missing anything.
So it's 5 years and under.
Yep, if you are 5 and under and your child have experienced some type of abuse, whether it was in the household or in their lives, you are able to receive free counseling. And not only that, if you have siblings that are under the age of 18, they get the counseling as well. And then guess what? The parents get the counseling as well. So this is just really serious for us to know. I know that personally, when you're going through a heightened situation like this of a pandemic, there are a lot of different things that arise in your life, whether it's mental illness, whether it is stress, whether there is abuse going on, so these are all things that we have to take into consideration. So, when we're reaching out to these schools, when we're reaching out to these churches, asking to provide our presentations, it is definitely needed. We probably hear that all the time. We don't need that here. Yes, you
Exactly.
do. Because I promise you, when we get done with our presentation, we're going to at least have 3 to 4 kids that have disclosed to us that they have seen something within the household, and they need services, So this is just really us to be able to explain to you all. We are learning with you all. If there's any teachers or social workers watching right now, we are learning with you all. We don't have all the answers as well, but one thing that we do know is that prevention is important. Prevention is very important because
Definitely.
I didn't get these presentations in schools growing up. I didn't receive information about family violence or domestic violence. We got the DARE presentations, of course, about the drugs and alcohol, but no one explained to me what it meant to be in an abusive relationship. You know?
And how to recognize those warning signs. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying, Angela, especially for the younger ones, there is a strong myth that if there's violence going on in the home, it doesn't affect the children because they don't understand the situation. They don't really know what's going on. It's not going to affect them. But if you talk to our children's counselor, she will give you the stats. She will give you the information, and she has explained to us how it actually affects these children's brains, and you can see it in their genes. You can see it in their brains, how it actually does affect them. And about 80% of abusers grew up in an abusive household. And so there you go. And so they do need us, not only for the fact that maybe there is violence going on in their home already, but it just prepares them for it. Maybe they have a friend who's going through it. Maybe they will see it
or
when they
family
grow up.
member. Mm-hmm.
Maybe they have a family member. And so if they're able to recognize the difference, they're less prone to this.
Exactly. And I know we've been doing a lot of updating with our presentations, our PowerPoints, so our format is different as well within our PowerPoints. And I know Zach and I were just doing our pre-recorded for the family violence presentation, and we were looking up some stats. And then what was it, Zach? Like in 2019, over 8,000 students have seen some type of violence within the household. And that's 2019. And mind you, we all have to keep in mind, these are the individuals that reported it. Imagine our survivors, our victims, and our clients that have not reported the abuse, even with the students, because our students really grow up to have the mindset that what happens in the household stays in the household. And I can't let you know, I don't trust you, Miss Celeste, because I don't know you. Zach, yeah, me and Zach are friends, but now I don't trust him either, right? So they need these loved ones in their life. They need this support system. They need that trusted adult. And a lot of times our team, we are that trusted adult. Sometimes it's hard to even get through a presentation because we have Bobby over here that wants to explain everything that he just seen in his household yesterday. So this is why it's so important to be able to provide this knowledge, be able to provide these presentations to our students, because whether they are in the school or in the house, they are still, well, I'm not going to say everyone, but there are still a lot of students that are experiencing abuse.
Yes, exactly. And I would like to point out just a couple more statistics here, just to show exactly how relevant this is, even amongst teens, even amongst the young ones. So nearly 1.5 million high school students nationwide experience physical abuse from a dating partner in just a single year. And then one of the stats that I think is pretty surprising is that abusive behavior often begins between the ages of 12 and 18. So
I know some parents are sitting here like, wait, what? 12? With us being
like my kids are almost there, or my kids are there.
Exactly. And it's so unfortunate because being in the schools now, you will be surprised what some students deal with. And it's like, how old are you? But this is why our services are so needed. There is so needed. And I just think, like, as a parent and as an advocate, that's all been on my mind during the pandemic. It's like, gosh, I know there's some kids out here that need our services. They need somebody to talk to. And I know they missed our face. Like, we have not seen our students in months.
Yeah, there's some students that we've actually gotten to know. There's some schools that we go to every year consecutively, and we've gotten to know these students. These students have learned to trust us. And it is unfortunate that we aren't able to be in the class with them, but we all understand the situation, and we can definitely do it remotely. Although it's not exactly the same thing, we are definitely still here, and it is very helpful to have us in your schools.
And that's what I was going to say. I know that we've been working hard to try to adjust. So, Zach, what have we been working on? What have we been doing, Zach?
Let's talk about our menu.
And of course, I want to pile on more about the importance of prevention, although we could probably do that all day. I also wanted to mention that, of course, we're all doing things online now. So one thing we did with the teen dating violence curriculum is we added technology related information and how that's very important, using social media, and how types of abuse and teen dating violence overlap with everyone being on their phones and on their computers all the time. So just because you're at home doesn't mean a lot of these things still don't happen. So, but I will explain now how we're doing prevention. So obviously, most schools are not in person right now, although some are. So our plan is at some point to return to schools. We don't know what that might look like. I don't think anyone does, but certainly we don't make that determination. So we do want to do that in the future, but I want to let you know that we are doing two other things. We're doing virtual presentations and pre-recorded presentations. So virtual is going to try to be as close to the real thing as we've done in the past. So it'll be something like this. There will be likely two of us live streaming the presentation to a classroom, and some of the details may depend on what the school does, like how they run their classroom, what time, things like that. So you'll have to contact us and I'll make sure I leave our contact information in the comments, at least my email, so you can get a hold of us. But it'll be just as long as it normally will be. Typically for the older kids, it's 45 minutes to an hour. We'll try to utilize the chat features that are built in so we can communicate, answer questions, but we plan to basically just send them the link. The teacher can stream the whole class to us, and we might not be in person, but we're going to be right there at the same time as everyone. So that is our virtual. We also pre-recorded some videos. So this is more on your own time. So we pre-recorded the family violence and teen dating violence videos. And this is good. So you can pause it if you need to rewind it and hear something again. It's less interactive, but again, schools are all doing things differently. So maybe this fits right in with what you want. And we can work with teachers if you want us to give you a pre-test and post-test, if you want us to give you a few questions to ask your students to see if they're paying attention and if, you know, if they're engaging with the material. So we will send you those videos for the pre-recorded. And also, it's not a presentation, but we are working on street teams. So this is more of a collaboration between us, the students, and the schools, where we're getting them engaged in what we're teaching them, distributing materials and information, and facilitating violence or anti-violence conversations with students. So again, this could take all sorts of directions depending on the involvement of the students. But if you want more information about that, we can definitely tie that in with our presentations.
And I was gonna say, Zach has been working really hard on our menu. Every time I say menu, I think of food. But okay, Zach has been working really hard on our menu. So like he said, if you are interested in knowing about that, let us know. And then also too, I don't know, I know some schools are even trying to figure out, okay, well, how will we apply, you know, these presentations to the school day, right? So I know some schools might have a time blockage for that social emotional learning. So that could be an option, or I know that some schools will treat it like it's a full day and we just speak to each classroom as the, you know, students are switching out of their classes virtually. So that can happen as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're free to answer any emails. A lot of the time, these first emails are not directly, this is the time that I need you. It's more so asking questions and us trying to work together and build that schedule or whatever it is that suits your school or your class. So we're here to work with you.
Absolutely.
And you may have heard when Celeste was going through the different kinds of presentations, if you're familiar with some social emotional learning, we are going with the current, not against it. So we're trying to work with the schools and what their goals are. So you might have heard her mention things like establishing and maintaining positive relationships, self-awareness and self-management skills, identifying and recognizing emotions. So we're definitely trying to do all those things and tie them back into what we're about.
Definitely, we can help you crush that check mark in your social emotional learning criteria.
Right. You said do what? Okay, no worries. Absolutely. So, of course, like we all were saying, we all are kind of taking this day by day as well. I know we sit down and we've been trying to discuss how to provide these services. And I'll be honest, some things we don't know all the answers to. I don't think we all know all the answers to what's going on right now, but we just wanted to let you know that we're out here. We did not forget about our students. We have been working so hard. You see, we brought the tea, but behind the scenes, we have not forgot about prevention. So we've been working really hard to do that as well.
Yes, updating all of our presentations. And before we go on, I want to let viewers know that we are going to get to questions. So if you're sitting there thinking of a question that you'd like to ask us, please comment it, because we're getting near the end of this tea. And the last thing that we do here is we go to questions and we answer whatever questions are on there. So feel free to ask.
Mm-hmm. And even if you happen to watch our video after we're not live anymore and you have a question, still write your question on there. We will still get that notification and we will still get the answer back to you. And if you are watching this and maybe you don't work in a school or a church or anything, but you know someone that does, and is looking for this information, please feel free to share our video. Please feel free to share our information. We literally open to giving our services to anyone, and they're free. Like, let's take advantage of that. We're in a pandemic and we're still offering free stuff. Let's do it.
Yes, and we've got Zach, the tech guy, here. And so when we did go virtual, when we started doing everything on Zoom, everything online, I'm gonna say Angie and I, but let me just speak for myself. I had no idea what I was doing, and thanks to Zach here, he was able to teach us how to use all the technology, all the information, because he knew a lot more than we did. And so now we're getting a little bit better at it, and we'll be able to help you all as well. Should we go on to the questions?
Yeah, anything else you all would like to share with our audience or? Okay, so Lysandra, do we have any questions from our amazing viewers in the chat?
So there aren't any questions at this time, but I think if we give people a few more minutes.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
the nice words.
Well,
from
I was
Celeste.
gonna say, as we're giving some our audience and our viewers some time to ask any questions, we do just want to continue to let you know that this Saturday is Keeping Dreams Alive silent auction, which also includes our Benches for Change. Okay, this is this Saturday, the 26th. Okay, so the raffle chances are it's a chance to win 2 tickets, Southwest tickets, okay? So it's 1 chance for $20 or 6 chances for $100, okay? So please make sure that you tune in because they have been working so hard. Development has been working so hard. So please remember that it's this Saturday. Put it in your calendar, put it in your phone, set your alarm, and be there.
Yeah, and the link to where you can find these Benches for Change will be also in the comment section.
And then I also, something else I know that you all gonna probably be mad at us a little bit, but for the month of October, starting October 6th, okay? Starting October 6th, tea will be at 2:00 p.m. 2 p.m., okay? We're trying this for the month of October for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, okay? Because with it being such an important month for us, we want to be able to allow our audience to be able to tune in as much as possible. So we're trying something different, trying a different time to get more engagement with our videos. So remember, starting October 6th, and we're gonna remind you, don't worry, we're gonna remind you, October 6th, 2 p.m. for What's the Tea, okay? So it'll be same day, different time, different tea.
Different tea.
Okay.
Bring your decaffeinated tea. It's a little bit later.
Yes.
Yeah.
So guys, we do have a couple of questions now, if you're
Okay.
ready.
Yes.
So the first question is, I am unsure of what will work for my students. Will you help me figure out a plan?
Definitely. Like I said, you can go ahead. We're gonna add an email that you can reach out to in the comment section, and that's what we do. We help you figure out a plan. So we'll go ahead and talk about. Yeah, like that's what we do. So we'll talk about what works for you, what we usually do. If you'd rather call over the phone, sometimes it works better that way. So just send us an email and we will definitely help you figure out a plan.
Absolutely. And even if you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I want to do it, but I don't know where to start, it's fine. We've had some schools that reached out to us and we gave what we was able to offer. And it was like, okay, hold please, let me go figure this out. So it's fine. I think we're all just trying to figure this out. And trust me, we understand that schools are, trying to get back on track with the students and, the testing. So we understand, but we are here to work with you as much as possible. And that's why we were able to offer so many different options for your students.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take the next question, Lysandra.
Okay. So then the next question is, now that you all are transitioning to giving virtual presentations, are you going to be giving presentations to people or classes that are out of state?
Ooh, I mean, why not? No. I don't know.
That's a good question.
That is a good
Um,
question.
I think I can go ahead and answer that to the best of my abilities. If there is an agency that is geographically closer to you and offers these same presentations that we offer, we're definitely going to have them. We'll refer you out to them. So we'll go ahead and do the research. We have a couple of lists already that we know of. But if you don't have anything that offers this, we definitely will, because, you know, we don't have to drive hours away right now. We can do it remotely. So I would say the answer is yes, as long as there's not another agency that offers the same thing that we do. Closer
Right,
to you.
because of course, you know, once our normal is normal again, you know, say we worked with you during a pandemic, but we would really like for you to build that relationship with the local agency that's in your location. But like Celeste said, of course, if there isn't any, we're not going to say, oh, we'll figure it out. Bye. You know, we're going to help you. But of course, we will research first, like Celeste said, to make sure there's not an agency closer to you.
Yeah, and that's another thing that you all can email us about. If you're not sure of any agency
Yeah.
around you, just go ahead and shoot us an email and we'll find out for you. Is there another question on there, Lysandra?
Okay, nope. Those are the
So I hope we
questions
were
that-
able to answer the questions. If for any reason we didn't answer them completely, or you have some more questions, feel free to comment after the video. Like Angie said, we'll get the application and we will definitely answer them.
Yeah. So we do just want to thank you all so much for tuning in with us again to hear about prevention. Great department of knowledge. But yeah, so we do want to thank you all. If you are watching this, please like, share this video. Please follow our page. Again, do not forget that Keeping Dreams Alive is this Saturday, okay? And we will be back. So next week, it's not October 6th, so we will be here again at 1 p.m., okay? We will be here the same day, same time, different tea, okay? So we just want to thank you all so much. And any closing remarks from you all?
Just thank you. Please send us an email, whatever questions you have. We will work with you.
All right, thank you all so much.